Hi everyone, welcome to Jubilee Church. So today we're going to be speaking with Dan, who is part of our leadership team here at Jubilee on our up and coming gift day on the 14th of March. Welcome, Dan.
Hello.
So for those that are new to Jubilee, why do we give as a church?
Yeah, so at Jubilee, we believe giving is a huge part of following Jesus, as we believe that our giving reveals our hearts. Jesus speaks a lot about money because it is a discipleship issue. We give as an act of worship to God. The largest teaching we find on giving is actually in 2 Corinthians 8 and 9. And Paul urges the Corinthian church to excel in the grace of giving, to be a generous, sacrificial people. Now, giving is just one of the ways we worship. God is a God who gives us our time, our talents, our possessions, and our finances. And we want to honour him. So God held nothing back from us, and so we want to therefore reflect the giving nature of our Father. And we also believe that giving is the primary way that the church funds, the mission of the church is funded, that we're funded through generous sacrificial giving of our members, and we want to support the people that are employed by Jubilee. And we also know that all that we do here costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to run this building. It costs a lot of money to resource all the different ministries that we're involved in. And the primary way this is funded is through the giving of people at this church.
So Dan, for people who are new to Jubilee, could you just explain what a gift day is?
Yeah, so when it comes to a gift day, I think it serves 2 purposes. Firstly, it's a once a year opportunity to just release a load of money, a load of cash to resource just large projects in the church. Over the years, we've resourced building projects, new staff roles, new ministries, new church plants, and through people's previous giving, that we've been able to do all of that. And for some people, it's just a chance to give a one-off gift above and beyond what they would normally give. And for other people, it's just, if they're just starting that journey of becoming a sacrificial, generous giver, that's the way that they first start giving to the church, is just by giving once a year. And we've also found that as we've sort of shared our heart and what we want to achieve, other people, not from the church, have come along and said, actually, we want to help resource this. It's been a great chance for God just to provide miraculously, as he has done time and time again. And the second purpose is it's a chance for us all to review our giving. A yearly opportunity. I love it, just a yearly opportunity just to review where I'm giving at the moment. Circumstances might have changed. You might have less income, so you have to give less. Or maybe you've got more income and you can give some more. Maybe you're in the journey to becoming a sacrificial giver. You think, actually, I want to stretch myself a little bit more this year. I want to save some money in other areas so I can give more. And your bank account is a really good indicator of what you value. And so gift day just presents us with an opportunity to look at, actually, how are we investing in the kingdom? How are we using what God has given us? If you are married, I'd encourage people to do that with their spouse. If you've got kids, I'd encourage you to do it as a family. It's a great chance as a family to look at, actually, where do we spend our money? Do it as a whole family, look at what are we giving. So it's a really good chance to release finance one-off and also review our giving each year. We do it as a family. It's a great chance just to make sure we're stewarding what God has given us.
Our last gift day was in last March, just before COVID came. How much was raised and how was this spent?
Yeah, so our gift day, was second to last Sunday before lockdown. Good timing. And we raised £31,000, which was fantastic. It meant that we could continue to fund Josh Davies, who was involved in launching the church plant up in the north of the city. We know that they've since launched as Freedom Church, and they just built during lockdown. He was able to give his time to that. We also managed to resource our social action through Jubilee Life College. So in lockdown, we supported many people, including starting English classes for around 60 asylum seekers who had recently arrived in the city, and we were able to resource that work. And as we were doing that, we also were planning. It was planned we would spend money on alpha courses each term. So we're going to run lots of alpha courses which are introducing people to faith. And we had to move those all online, so it cost us very little. So we have that money from last gift day sat in our bank account waiting to be spent on alpha as soon as we were able to run alphas in this building again. We're
still living with COVID and the effects will be felt for some time. So why a gift day now? And what is your hope?
Yes, obviously this year's been incredibly tough, and just a massive thank you to those who are watching, who just continued to give throughout this time. We did consider whether we should cancel it, but we really felt stirred that in this next season, God is going to give us many opportunities to show the love of Jesus to those in need. I spoke in January about re-engaging, revitalising and reinvesting. We really felt it was important at this gift day to raise money to make sure we're ready for the reinvest stage. I think that the economic effects of COVID-19 are going to be felt in this city massively, and so we want to be ready to react to need, especially for our social action. We really feel that Life College, previously we were attracting about 120 students, giving them new skills, helping them with social interactions, helping them gain some experience for their CV, and we really feel like that's going to be more important than ever in the coming months. We know that there's loads of people out there who we're going to have to help with their mental health. Mental health is going to be a massive issue in the coming months. Going to help people back into work, helping people to write CVs and get some experience, helping people with social interactions who have been socially isolated. And so we want to make sure that we're ready to support the work of Jubilee Life College and really push forward and see it develop in the next year. And part of that social action plan is that we're going to be looking at how we use the front of our building. So there's the bank area that you'll know of that is we want to turn into a cafe. We've had about £50,000 raised so far from church members. It's helped us go through planning, it's helped us do the initial strip out works, and we want to now just raise some more money so we can go to funders and start to look at if they will fund the rest of the costs. Also, we want to continue to invest in church planting. We want to make sure North Hull are really well invested in this season. They've got all the resources they need to really make a massive impact up in North Hull. And finally, I want to launch a new thing called the Family Fund this year. We know that our church family are not going to be immune from the economic effects of COVID-19. And so we know that there are going to be people struggling, people who might lose jobs, people who are going to maybe be in debt. And we want to have this fund that is available for our growth group leaders that can tap into. If they know there's someone in their group who's in need, they can come to us and we can provide a one-off grant which will help support people in need. Just really feel like actually it's what we see with the church in Acts. We see them, people come with their offerings to the leaders' feet and the leaders distribute to those who are needy in their congregation, and that's what we want to be doing through the Family Fund. So social action, church planting, and thirdly is the Family Fund.
What are you asking church members to consider as we approach this gift day?
Yeah, so firstly, I think it's a great chance to review giving, as I've already said. We do not teach sort of 10% tithe. We don't think we find that in the New Testament, but what we find is giving that is generous and sacrificial. 10% might be a really good marker for people. For some people, that might be a really good thing to give. For others, you may give way beyond this. I think there are 4 stages of giving. There's firstly people who just give occasionally. Secondly, there's people who give regularly. Thirdly, there's people who would say give a tithe, 10%. And then the fourth one is people who are sacrificial and generous. And the key thing to this is it isn't actually about the amount. God isn't looking for have you given a certain percentage of your income. He's actually wanting to know that we've got his heart. So I just ask people to consider, does your giving reflect that God has got your heart? We're all on this journey to becoming a sacrificial, generous giver. And wherever you're at, I just consider, how can I grow in this? How can I engage with this gift day to make sure that I'm reviewing my giving, making sure that I'm giving back to God what he has given to me. And it's important that we remember that we give out of what we've received. We don't give what we haven't got and end up being in debt, but we make sure that we evaluate what God has given us and we give out of response to that. And I guess for some people, if you've never given before, this might be a great opportunity to start giving to the church. You might say, actually, I'm not able to give a one-off gift, but I can just give a small amount every month. That makes a huge difference as we plan our budgets. For others who are on this journey towards being sacrificial, generous givers, it may be starting to increase your giving. For others, it may be you look at your finance and say, actually, I can give a one-off gift above and beyond my normal giving. It's something that we try to do. Sometimes I'm not in that financial position to be able to give a one-off gift, and so I've been able to say to God, if you want me to give a one-off gift, would you bless me with that finance? But sometimes as we just looked at our finance, we think actually we can make some savings, or especially over COVID-19, you might find you've actually not spent as much money this year and you think actually I can stretch myself to see Jesus made known, I can really give to this. So I just ask people to really consider how you're investing in the work that we're involved in this city.
Dan, that's been really helpful. Is there anything you would like to add as we approach our gift day on the 14th of March?
Yeah, I guess I just want to say to those who are listening, just a huge thank you for the way that you've given, especially over the last year, just being amazed by the amount of people just being able to continue giving. As a church, we're not a wealthy church. We don't have tons of money, but and to be honest, in the past we have had some trickier times financially, but it's just great that at the moment we're in a really healthy place, and that's just due to God's faithfulness to us, and also just to the generous giving and faithful giving of our church members. So a massive thank you to those who are listening.
That's great, Dan. Thank you so much for going through the questions this morning. And for anybody out there who would like to know any information, please look on our website or our social media for more details.